Let's be real for a moment. If you've ever opened Duolingo thinking you're about to become fluent in another language, I've got news for you. Not all courses are created equal, and some of them, they'll take you nowhere. Today, we're talking about the Duolingo courses that will never make you fluent. And trust me, there are more than a few offenders on the list. 1. High Valyrian. Starting strong, we've got High Valyrian. I get it. You're a Game of Thrones fan. You dream of standing before Daenerys Targaryen herself and speaking fluent dragon. But here's the thing. Valor Dohaeris isn't going to get you a job, book you a hotel, or even impress your nerdy friends after the novelty wears off. This isn't a real living language, and the spending months learning how to conjugate its non-existent verbs is peak waste of time. Unless you're planning to write George R.R. Martin's next book for him, don't bother. 2. Hawaiian. Next up is Hawaiian. Look, Hawaiian culture, beautiful. Hawaiian people, incredible. Hawaiian Duolingo course, about as helpful as learning Morse code to play Wordle. The course is so short and basic that even if you ace every lesson, you'll probably still mispronounce aloha and be clueless in an actual conversation. And let's not forget, the language has very few native speakers left. You'd be better off traveling to Hawaii, joining a local language initiative, or simply learning to surf. 3. Italian. Now you might think, Italian? Surely you can become fluent in that. But hold your pasta. It's not as straightforward as it seems. Duolingo Italian is a mess. Sure, you'll learn how to order wine and say existentially heavy things like il cibo è la vita, food is life. But where's the practical vocabulary? Half the time, I feel like the app thinks I'm preparing for a dramatic Shakespearean play in Florence. You'll be able to recite La donna beve latte al buio, the woman drinks milk in the dark, but still have no clue how to ask for the nearest train station. For fluency? Hard pass. 4. Welsh. Welsh. If you thought you'd sign up and just figure it out, think again. It's like trying to untangle a slinky that got stuck in a washing machine. While I admire Duolingo's effort to preserve the language, the reality is that Welsh isn't exactly making a global comeback. Unless your career depends on understanding road signs in Wales, your time might be better spent elsewhere. This course feels like taking a shot of tequila without the salt or lime. Ambitious, but ultimately not worth the effort. 5. Japanese. A hugely popular course, and I get it. Anime fans and sushi lovers flock to it like it's the holy grail of language apps. But here's the harsh truth. Japanese on Duolingo is like assembling a 5,000-piece puzzle without the edge pieces. It's borderline impossible. The app introduces kanji but barely scratches the surface, leaving you stranded after a few phrases. If fluency is your goal, Duolingo Japanese won't cut it. Pick up a good textbook or find a real teacher instead. 6. Latin. And here comes Latin. I know it sounds impressive. I study Latin in my free time, but what are you actually gaining from this? If you think Duolingo is going to turn you into a toga-wearing linguist reciting Cicero at your next dinner party, think again. Latin is a dead language for a reason. Unless you're planning a career in classical academia or becoming the next pope, move along. 7. Esperanto. Finally, Esperanto. Oh boy, where do I even begin? This is the Duolingo course that screams, I'm quirky and different. But for what? Nobody actually speaks Esperanto. Even in its heyday, which lasted for all of 5 minutes, it barely scratched the surface of global adoption. Learning Esperanto on Duolingo is like learning how to juggle while blindfolded. Sure, it's an interesting party trick, but ultimately useless in the real world. Closing monologue. So there you have it, the Duolingo courses that'll leave you frustrated, confused, and far from fluent. Don't get me wrong, Duolingo can be a fun way to start a language, but if fluency is your goal, you'll need more than what these courses can offer. My advice? Choose a language that's practical for your life, find better resources to supplement your learning, and remember, Duolingo isn't a magic wand, it's just a quirky owl with a weird obsession for streaks. And if you're about to type in the comments, but I became fluent in Latin using Duolingo, let me save you some time. You didn't. Thanks for watching. Bye.